maybe the fifth time's a charm. Hey, welcome back to Nights and Weekends with me, Marcus, one-man band over here on this side of the internet. Can't afford anybody else, so it's just me. So today, as you can see from the thumbnail, we're talking about everybody's, some people's favorite guy, some people's enemy. Good old Charlamagne Tha God. So, in my opinion, this guy's he's a model idiot. Why it is he gets so much press? I have no idea. I wish I knew, but I don't. He was born back in June of 1978. I didn't give one crap about what the hell he did between that time and when he got on the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is a huge microphone to where they can really influence a lot of young, and in my opinion, I wouldn't call them. They're just young and they just don't know. It's fine. I was there too, as I stated in my last video, one of them. So the Breakfast Club gets anywhere between 6 and 8 million listeners a month, according to what I could look up. The Breakfast Club also has about 3.5 million subs on YouTube, and if you look at a lot of stuff, they do get a whole lot of views. I mean, I even tune in from time to time, like when Larry Elder went on there and just destroyed the whole Breakfast Club. And that new woman that replaced Angela Yee, whatever her name is at the time, Jess, whatever, like how Trump said,
replenish the Social Security Trust Fund.
Yeah, she was. But anyway, we're going to start off here with Charlamagne with him explicitly saying that he's not of the left. This is a clip from the Brilliant Idiots.
Listen, any Republican that comes on a left, people think what people consider a left-leaning platform, because I don't think Breakfast Club is left-leaning because I'm not part of the left.
Saw that? Then quite literally 2 seconds later.
Hey man, I'm trying to be a good host and bring people on from the other side.
2 seconds later, he quite literally says that he's being a good host and letting the folks from the other side come on. Like, really? But dude, you just said that you were on the left, but now all of a sudden you're on the other side again. He's not even aware of the stuff he says. Again, let me just make sure that that's clear. So now we can get on into this. It's another clip from the good old Brilliant Idiots of Charlamagne talking about him getting confused as in ethnicity and race and nationality. So Andrew Schultz. I actually like Andrew Schultz. Now, I know that he doesn't like my guys, Myron and Fresh, over on Fresh and Fit. That's absolutely irrelevant. I have no problem compartmentalizing people. Andrew Schultz is funny. I don't give a damn what anybody says. And he's much smarter than Charlamagne. If you ever look in the comments, it's hilarious because they're on there saying like, this is a smart person trying to talk to an idiot. But let us zoom in on this clip of Charlamagne talking about a guy who came on the Breakfast Club who's from South Africa.
Stephon Benz. Stephon's 6'2", blue eyes, blonde hair. You know what I'm saying? You see him, you probably think he was from fucking
Finland.
Oh yeah, Ohio.
Yeah.
South African. Speaks the native tongue of whatever. I forgot the exact languages. I don't say native tongue because there's a bunch of them. But speaks the language.
You know that Great Britain colonized South Africa, and they brought white people down there.
So
now, as you can see there, he said, "Oh, he looks like he's from Ohio, but he's from South Africa and blah blah blah." And then Schultz has to explain to him that the Dutch, as we can see here, the Dutch actually had colonized there back almost 400 years ago. And then we have them, and then we also have the British who took over the Cape of Good Hope 200 plus years ago. Okay? And what's his name? He has to just kind of just, laugh it off. If this was anybody else but his friend, Schultz would throw him up underneath the bus.
Okay. But he's still South African is what my point.
Yeah, but his roots are from, what is the
He's only 16. All he knows is South Africa is my point. That's what he speaks. You know what I'm saying?
I love you.
It's the truth, though.
Okay. Now, and also, if you go back and watch that episode or just listen in the clips, Charlamagne thinks that white and black people have always existed in Africa at the same latitude. And Schultz had to explain to him, like, hey, that wouldn't make any sense because you would just have them literally getting burned to a crisp by the sun from day one. But again, like I said, this is somebody who, when I woke up on Sunday, was being interviewed on I think it was ABC News Today. Like, it's a national show. This man's being interviewed. If this was a politician or somebody who they actually try to hold accountable, he wouldn't be there because he's an idiot. So we're going to go forward to when my guy Vivek was on The Breakfast Club. And he's talking about how capitalism has gotten more people out of poverty. And listen to what Charlamagne says.
But I think that the way you get ahead in capitalism, how did I develop a multi-billion-dollar biotech company? It was by developing medicines that save people's lives.
A lot of people say capitalism causes poverty.
Yeah, I disagree with that.
Charlamagne would not say that if he was talking about some fringe element of idiots who believe that capitalism causes poverty. He believes that. Okay? Now, I don't understand how dumb you have to be on this, because we can look right here. You see how this has come way down, okay? It's come down. Thank God that we can sit around today and have capitalism, because if not, we would be living hand to foot or hand to mouth, and times would be a whole lot harder, okay? All those, I wouldn't even call them luxury beliefs, but things like child labor, oh, no. That would be normal again. Your 10 or 11-year-old would be working either on the farm or in some factory cleaning out somebody's chimney, because that is what you had to do to survive. Thank God we live in a capitalist society where I can have all this stuff and be able to work and trade my labor for money. Thank God. But again, like I said, he's an idiot. So as we can see here, just to reiterate, according to Vox, okay, 80% of people fell below the extreme poverty line, and today it's under 20%. Now, our stupid, overdone, ridiculous reaction to COVID has increased that because we threw everything out the window. But whatever. Joe Biden went on to the Breakfast Club and said this.
I will. It's a long way until November. We got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
It don't have nothing to do with Trump. It has to do with the fact I want something for my community.
Charlamagne still showed up to vote for him too. Now, I can guarantee if that was somebody from the right who went on there and said that, right? If somebody from the right had went onto the Breakfast Club and said that, there would have been enough ink spilled of people writing columns and people hitting keys on their keyboard to fill up the Exxon Valdez of how this is racist, this is why you shouldn't vote for the folks on the right, blah, 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 blah. But Joe Biden went on there and did that, and you know what he did? He still went in there and pulled the freaking lever for Joe Biden. He says that the reason why it is he voted for Biden was because of Kamala Harris, as we can see here.
Charlamagne endorsed Joe Biden in 2020, but says it was primarily because he had chosen Kamala Harris as his running mate. Has she met your expectations? I mean, you've been kind of tough on her.
Yeah, no, she hasn't. Mm-hmm. And she serves a unique purpose, right? Because she is the first woman of color in that position. So there's things that she could talk about. There's things that she could say that I feel like, you know, he can't.
If you can't put two and two together on this, I think that you're the problem, at least when it comes to this. So let's look here. Charlamagne believes, this is from the interview he did yesterday, okay, on Today, which was insane. Again, he shouldn't be there because he's an idiot. But this is what he thinks, but he wants to think that he isn't on the left politically, and that the Breakfast Show, that the Breakfast Club isn't an extension of that. Here we go. That's because Americans aren't inspired by Biden, Charlamagne said. He has no main character energy at all. None. And should be leaning more on his surrogates, such as Vice President Kamala Harris. Dude, go back and look at how Kamala Harris did in the primaries in 2020. I don't believe that she even won any delegates. 0. Or it was very low, and she dropped out either before they got to California or she lost California. It was one of those. Okay? No one is showing up to listen to Kamala Harris. That like should tell you something. 2 other things here on Charla. One of them is he believes that January 6th was a coup.
They should. Like, we watched an attempted coup of this country happen on January 6th. And everybody's acting like it was just a bunch of people, you know, wilding at spring break, you know, down in Florida. Yeah. Like, we literally watched, you know, people try to overthrow the government because they didn't like the results of an election led by a former, you know, president.
Now, I have people in my own family who think that January 6th was an attempted coup. And then when you ask them, okay, like I know somebody's watched, several people are going to watch this who know me in real life. You would ask them, okay, it was a coup. Okay, fine. Let us go with that. How was he going to pass any laws? How is this person going to command like the actual military and stuff like that? How? I don't understand it. This isn't 600 years ago where you took the king out and then next thing you know, now you're in charge of, I don't know, where modern day Tenochtitlan, which is Mexico City, is today. It just doesn't work like that. Okay? It just doesn't. But remember, this man thinks it was an attempted coup. And I would have to say, I think Robert Downey Jr. was right.
You went full retard, man. Never go full retard.
So, we're going to go on to the very last little bit of stuff that I have here. Alex, you can go to hell because some people actually have to try to remember all this stuff offhand, and it's a lot of stuff. So, just to finish up here on Charlotte, I could go on for hours when it comes to this man. Quite literally hours upon hours of stupid stuff that this man has said on video, on audio, and he has no shame. But again, I think it's because he doesn't know. He's very successful. The reason I think that Charlamagne gets the press he does is because, like how Malcolm X was saying in like the movie, and he also said in his book, he was talking about how, you know, he was elected like class president of his class, like in elementary school or something like that. And he said that those whites kind of viewed him as a pink poodle. The reason I think that Charlamagne gets the kind of press he does is relating to this exact study that came out in 2019 or late 2018. It was talking about how when white liberals, none against white folks, they're well-intentioned, none against white liberals or conservatives, they're well-intentioned. I'm not talking about their heart. I'm talking about the way that they interact with us. So, according to this study, we can go look at it. The study looked at people from different ideological perspectives and their words they choose, and their word choices when communicating with blacks and whites. When choosing words off a list, liberal participants selected ones that would make them appear significantly less competent with a black interaction partner than with a white one. Okay? Meaning, in their drive to maybe, I don't know, find common ground, they talk down to you. And if you saw on this thing, this is so funny if you look here. Conservative participants, on the other hand, demonstrated no modulation in their word choice, whether the person they were communicating with was black or white. You talk the same. The reason I think that he gets the press that he does is because, one, they being the folks in media who are also progressive and leftist or left-leaning, use this person, have them come onto their show and get up there and say stuff that doesn't make any sense, and they clap and cheer because they are using him to get a broader audience. And that's all I'm going to pretty much say on Charlotte. He's an idiot. He quite literally can't differentiate between race and ethnicity and nationality. He thinks capitalism causes poverty. You can go back and watch his show on the Breakfast Club, and you will see exactly what it is I mean. So that's enough on Charlamagne Tha God, and we're going to send him out with his own stuff he says to people.
Please give Charlamagne Tha God, aka the breakfast snub, the biggest hee-haw.
Absolutely.
Something I've noticed as somebody who runs this channel, again, it's the one-man band. So I looked at my first video, the introduction, and it's actually kind of funny that I've been not necessarily shadow banned, but it isn't like somebody sitting there at YouTube watching and then it's like, we're going to get them. I think it's just the algorithm and everything else that they do. But I have specifically put in my channel's name with the topic that is wrote in the heading. Nothing comes up. So it isn't necessarily that my channel is not, that people saw it and then just got off of it. They aren't even letting it be shown. But you know what? We're going to leave it out on this.
I'm not fucking leaving! The show goes on! This is my home! They're gonna need a fucking wrecking ball to take me out of here!
See y'all next week. All right, bye.